Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. In today's video, I'm bringing you a popular request I've been getting a lot lately, and that is how to create beautiful Hollywood waves. I think that a style like this is amazing for any night out, anywhere. Kind of you want to look more chic, more glam, especially if you're on like a red carpet situation or just a very special occasion. And yeah, it's quite sexy as well, and yeah, it's one of my favorite looks to create, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's get into it. Okay, step number one is going to be hair prep. So we can't go in and straight away go in and start waving and creating the curl on top of hair that's like this. To be completely honest, I literally put it up yesterday when it was still wet and I just left it like that. So it's just dried fluffy, it's kind of all over the place and it's kinky and wavy. Before you create any sort of Hollywood wave, I would definitely recommend you get a smooth base to begin with. So the cuticles lying flat, your hair's going to be smooth and shiny and soft and silky. I'm just going to do a very quick blow dry on this first. First of all, it is dry, my hair's already dry. I'm just going to dampen it down with some product and of course add that product which is going to help smooth, and it's got your heat protection in. So I'm obsessed with this one lately. I've pretty much almost run out of this. It's the Kerastars Anti-Frizz Glazed Milk from the Gloss Absolute range, and I just love how it sprays out this applicator nozzle. So I'm just going to section my hair and then mist that in sections throughout. Then I'm also going to pop in the Kerastars Glaze Drops, also from the Gloss Absolute range. They won't weigh your hair down. It's, yeah, perfect again to pop into hair like this where my hair's already dry. I am going to do one full pipette, a really good amount for my hair, and it's like super runny and a really thin consistency. So just rub that into your hands, and then I'm just going to do one hand on that side, one hand on that side, and you're really focusing it on the mid-lengths and ends where your hair kind of needs that smoothing and extra nourishment. Then I find the quickest and easiest way to blow dry my hair smooth is by using my Dyson Airwrap with the really large round brush attachment. I'm just going to section my hair up and show you how I create a smooth blow dry and just quickly smooth my hair out with this, but it is honestly super easy. You're literally just wrapping that hair around the brush once, hold the cool tip on the end there, and that helps you get a nice bit of tension, and you're literally just gliding down until you kind of fall off and glide off the ends there. So super simple, and I'm just going to repeat that as I work up through the rest of my hair now. So hair is all smooth, and that is going to be kind of one of your key main things you want to do if it's that shine that you're after. If your hair is naturally curly or wavy, the cuticle kind of isn't lying flat and it's kind of, I guess your hair is like kinked in different areas. You can just really align the cuticle, just the outer layer of your hair. That is what's going to give you that shine, and as you can see, we've already got a much shinier base to start with. We are going for a classic Hollywood wave look today. Step 2 is going to be your parting. So I would take a tail comb like this. Tail on the end is just super useful and handy to then take your sections. So what we want to do is kind of go for a deep side parting and have a play around and just see which side your hair wants to fall better on. Can't remember if mine is that side or the other side. Let's have a look. I feel like it's that side. So decide which way your hair wants to part, and then what we're going to do, so you want to just take your tail comb and start where kind of you want to see it. So you can see that is really quite like deep, and it's really on the side of my head. So I do want a nice deep one because then that's really classic Hollywood. But you want to take your comb, pop it there at the start, and what we actually want to do is go diagonally backwards. Hopefully you can see that. And what happens when you go diagonally backwards, you're actually still leaving this side of the hair super full and it's not going to look flat. Whereas if you just took that part in and you just went horizontally back, you're going to have way less hair on this side and it's just going to look super thin around the crown here. So this actually just helps to take in like a diagonal back section, helps to really like balance out the hair around your head. I'm quite happy with that, I think. Step 3 is going to be our sectioning. So again, I'm going to use my tail comb. Sectioning is so important when it comes to Hollywood waves, and effectively that is what makes the Hollywood wave, how kind of it ends up, that kind of final result. You want every single section to be the exact same size, exact same width, and you want these all kind of lying on top of one another. I mean, if you watch my videos normally, I'll take like a large first section for me is going to be top of the ear. That's going to be too big to start with our first curl, because then if you think every single curl then needs to be that size. So I like to go middle of the ear, and I've got like piercing just there, which I love to use as my marker. But yeah, literally take like that middle part of your ear, hold your comb there, and I am going to draw a line directly to the back. And that's the size of our first section. So it's roughly like 2 inches in depth. And I'm just going to clip all of this up so all of this hair is out of the way. And then repeat the same on the other side. So our first 2 sections are ready, and I think they're probably small enough or like the right size to just take all as one. So that's going to be 1 curl, that's going to be another, and everything we're doing today, we're just going to bring all of the hair forward, and that's so you can actually see what you're doing yourself in the mirror. You can check everything's symmetrical. At no point really in this tutorial are we going to be reaching round and you're just going to be doing like guesswork at the back. We can see everything we're doing at the front. Okay, step 4 is going to be products that you need for the hold factor. So we've already blow dried in the blow dry spray and an oil. These are more, I guess, hair care products, and they really help to smooth out the hair. But now we actually need something which is going to hold those curls and make them last. So this is one of my all-time favorite products to use for something like this. It's the Living Proof Flex Hairspray. It is an amazing medium hold, quite lightweight hairspray. It brushes out super easily. But what I love about it is it does actually contain heat protection. So it's an amazing spray to spray on top of every section before you curl the hair. If your hair is either really fine and it drops super easily, or you've got a lot of hair and it's super heavy and it drops super easily, I would have also gone in beforehand with kind of my blow dry and blow dried in like a mousse, for example. A mousse is a great product to get that hold and that extra kind of hold factor and layer into the hair. Personally, my hair holds super easy and the curls stay in my hair really well, so I don't feel like it's necessary right now, but definitely I'd go in and apply this, and it's just that extra layer of heat protection as well. So just mist top down to bottom, and honestly this doesn't make the hair sticky. Step 5 is going to be choosing your curling iron. So yes, we are using curling irons in this tutorial because this is a classic Hollywood wave tutorial. I will probably do another video, to be honest, on how to create more of a modern Hollywood wave with a straightener because it's slightly different. But yeah, we're going absolutely classic here. So you need a curling iron which has got an arm attachment. My 2 absolute favorites to use are these GHD ones. This is the 1 inch GHD curling iron. For most people, I'd say this is absolutely amazing for creating the classic Hollywood wave look. But I'm not going to use that one today. I'm going to use the slightly chunkier one, which is soft curl iron. This is 1.25 inches instead of the 1 inch, because as I just mentioned, my hair honestly curls super easy. It almost jumps up and it will go half the length if I use this one. Yeah, I don't need it to jump up too much or go too curly or too tight. So I'm still going to create that classic Hollywood wave, but just on my hair. I feel like choosing this chunkier, looser iron is perfect to create the look that I want. So yeah, we're going with this one. If you have fine hair, if you have thick, really long hair, I would definitely go for this one, the smaller iron, the 1 inch, if you do feel like your curls drop and they don't hold. Step 6 is actually going to be the curling technique that you need to know how to create these beautiful Hollywood melting waves. Really important thing with your classic Hollywood, because we're doing classic, is because we've got this deep side parting. Now everything on this side, because this is the side that most of the hair is going to fall on, because most of the hair is coming this side, I want all of this side to go away from the face. That's all going to be coming away from the face. And with your classic Hollywood, what happens, every single curl is falling in the exact same direction, and that's how you create all of the curls like melting and blending together. When all of the curls are going in the exact same way, so imagine they're like pivoting around my head, technically that means this side is then coming onto my face. So if you imagine they're going away, 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 then they'll start coming towards. So bear that in mind, and just literally think when you're curling your hair, all of this side side is coming towards. All of this side with your deeper side parting, that is actually going away. Towards on one side, away on the other, and that's throughout the whole way up your head. And what happens when you do towards on this side, that's the side with the less hair on, because obviously you've got your really deep side parting. That creates that lovely moment when it's coming towards. Then you can actually tuck this behind your ear, again for the classic Hollywood wave look. We always have one side tucked. You've got like a really nice earring to show off on this side, and this is the side that's super full and voluptuous, and yeah, that's coming all away from the face. So with that in mind, what we're going to do, I will start off on this side, holding my curling iron in my right hand, and then you want to come up and over, so you're almost holding your curling iron upside down, and then the side that's coming towards the face, I want to place the curling iron in front of the hair. This I'm calling the arm, some of you might call it the lever or the clamp. Keep that open at all times when you're wrapping the hair around. So I'm going to keep that open, place the tongue, the iron, in front of the hair, and then I'm going to wrap that hair around, and I really want to focus. I'm going to push that hair up to the top, and I really want to focus on making the full use of the barrel length. Then when you've pretty much got all of the hair in and you've just got that little end left, then I'll close the arm, just kind of glide it down slightly, so then I can really tuck that end under. Again, that's what's key with your classic Hollywood waves. You want the end tucked in and into the arm of the iron. You don't want to be holding it, because then you've got a straight end, which isn't a classic Hollywood. Hold that on the tongue for like 6 to 8 seconds, depending on your hair's thickness. 8 seconds is going to be perfect if you have really thick or longer hair. Let it cool just for a couple seconds also in your hands, and there we go. That is our first super bouncy, perfect round ringlet, and then that one's going towards our face. I'm not going to pin curl everything today, as I say, because I just know this is going to hold super well in my hair, and you can already see how much length I lose when I curl my hair. My hair just loves curls and it bounces up, and it takes to curl super easy. With curling irons, personally, I don't particularly need to pin curl, but again, if you feel like your hair drops super easy, I would definitely then take all of that, just pop it up and pop a little pin in it or a little curvy grip to pin curl it all, and just like super set it. Now to do the next side, I'm going to swap hands. So now my curling iron is in my left hand because I'm styling the right hand side of my head. So again, just take that section, kind of use your fingers just to detangle, make sure there's no tangles in the hair, and that's important because when we're wrapping the hair around, it does need to be wrapped around flat. You don't want any twists in the hair at all. So now on this side's all going back away from the face, so we want to make sure the iron is placed behind the hair this time. Squish it right up to the top, because we just want to make the full use of that, like the length of the iron, especially if you have super long hair. You want to make sure like all the hair also is like being wrapped around one after the other rather than overlapping any areas. So just try and get as much of that hair in as you can before you close the iron, then just glide it down a little bit to get the very end in, and then we're holding on here. I'm just going to hold for like 6 seconds because I realise I'm probably taking way longer with this because I'm talking the whole way through it as well. And then like tap, 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 I kind of like slowly open it. So you're kind of not making it all completely drop out. You're kind of just gently releasing the curl from the tongue. Then I'll just twizzle it around with my fingers just to make sure it's sitting in like that like nice shape, so it's going to set like that. This side is coming onto the face. This side is going away from the face. Every single thing we do is now got to be mirrored and that working up. So my next section's working up. Again, normally I'll just like take my fingers, but when I'm doing like a Hollywood wave and I want it more precise, I am going to take my tail comb and do this for all of the sections. So now I'm going to go above the ear. My comb there, create a line just above there, and again that's that perfect size section. Clipping everything just up and out of the way, because you don't want any of this other hair or the other sections just getting in your way, like any loose hairs. And again, that's just a perfect size section I would say to take just as one. It's pretty much the same size as that one. And we're gonna mist again. Flex hairspray. Holding in my right hand, come up and over, so you're holding it kind of upside down, placing the iron in front of the hair, and you are wrapping that round super flat. So look, I'm going to push that right up to the top and then wrap around again. So no hair is overlapping. The only overlap I will do, say when I'm near the end, I actually recommend you kind of overlap the end, and that makes it easier to kind of get the end in, because your end is quite like fine and skinny. If it's almost like right at the very end of the tongue there, where actually the tongue has kind of got a little gap there because you've got all the other hair in it, it actually might fall out. Try and hold this in your hand for just like a couple of seconds, just because it's still super warm, and this just helps to almost just set the curls slightly there. And there we go, you can see how our curls are really building up there. Okay, next side. So comb just above the ear, draw a line here, and because there's more hair on this side, do you think I might have to take 2 sections and do 2 curls on this side? Okay, let's have a look. Actually, no, I don't think so. Yeah, definitely just check you're not leaving any little wispy hairs at the back. Everything is just coming straight forward. So actually, I'm just going to grab those little wispy ones that were probably left from that section before. But no, I'll just take this in one, because again, it's about the same size. Spraying on my Flex hairspray. And same again, so now I'm holding it in the opposite hand, my left hand. The iron wants to go behind the hair, push it all the way up to the base, and then wrapping that hair round so it's nice and flat. I guess, yeah, probably the trickiest bit. I think that's why some people are they can be scared of these curling irons, because of the arm and just closing the arm. But yeah, just try and get as close as you can with your fingers before you then close that arm and get the very end in. I'm just like twizzling it around with my finger just so it's sitting in like the right place. But apart from that, then I'm not like touching these curls at all. I'm not like gonna brush them out or touch them out, because whilst the hair's still warm, it's still malleable. So if you're touching it too much, basically you're just gonna start stretching out that shape. We just want to leave that to cool and set. But yeah, as I mentioned, if your hair, you feel like it's gonna drop or it's already dropping, just start pinning them up as you're working out. Next section, I think we're definitely gonna have to start splitting into 2 sections now. So I'm gonna go kind of top of my eyebrow for the next section. And obviously everyone's face is slightly different, so your proportions might not be the same as mine when I'm talking about, oh, I use like my ear or then top of my eyebrow. But all you just want to do is make sure they're about the same measurement, so roughly like 2 inches, a couple of inches in depth. Misting on our hairspray. Hopefully you can see, but that's super wide at the root, that section. So yeah, we're going to split into 2, and yeah, you can literally see as soon as I've split that into 2, like that's definitely a more appropriate size section, similar to the others. If you pull it out from the root as well, it's kind of like a little box size section. So I've got 2 of those. Yeah, I always like to try and just start off with that one furthest away from me, I think. And the same again on this side. So Flex hairspray, and then you can see that is just way too wide, reaching around the back to take all as one, splitting that into 2. And I always find like the perfect size for that first one, it's kind of like just behind the ear there, and then they're kind of split like evenly into 2 sections. Next section I'm working up is about recession point. So yeah, just that kind of highest point of your head. And again, just to mirror the sections we've been doing already. So I'm going to split that top one there, literally, so that is going to lie directly above the other curl. And then again, because your head starts to get wider as you move up the head, now when I kind of take this section and feel that definitely feels too big and too chunky, and it's not going to be the same size as that one that I've just done. So I'm going to almost split that in half as well. So then that is the same size as the curl directly underneath it. And then now we are really working around the back with these sections, so that's going to be like new section here at the back. And then literally same again with this section. More spray. Remember, we're curling away from the face on this side. You just want your curls to match and line up exactly, like directly on top with the curls that have already gone in on that row underneath. So again, I've got like 3 evenly sized sections here. So now we're just working on our top section. So once you've let your sectioning clips down, I would just take your comb again and just make sure your parting is exactly where you want it. It's super nice and neat. We're literally just marrying up the sections. So I'm going to start off on this side. So taking a section directly above that other curl, one above there, and then yeah, we should still be left with 3 like curls on the top row. Now just as I'm working on this top, almost like triangle section, because as you can see, this is the front of my hairline. We almost don't have anything to go directly on top of, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take this section here, because that lines up literally on top of that curl. And then I'm going to split that into 2 and do that as like 2 new sections. So hair is all curled. You should be looking something like this, like a curly Sue. What I'm going to do is take my Living Proof Flex hairspray and yeah, just spray it all over the top, because yeah, it works as like a lovely medium hold lightweight hairspray as well. So I love to finish with it. As per usual, we want to leave these to cool down completely, which can take anywhere from like 10-20 minutes. So I'll come back to you when they are all completely cool. Okay, hair is fully cooled now, which means the bonds, the hydrogen bonds in the hair have set into position. We are good to go, we're good to dress out. So this is the point that people probably get scared with, because you think, oh, I've created these lovely, shiny, glossy curls. You just don't want to get that frizz and that static with the hair. So I'm going to take a dressing brush. This is actually a really great one I'd recommend because it isn't pricey at all. It's the Denman brush. I'll link it down below in the description. A dressing brush is basically like a mixture of bristles. So it's kind of got these plastic bristles, but then it's also got kind of like the ball hair bristles. I'll link also vegan alternative if this one isn't vegan. So take your hairspray. I'm still just going to carry on using the Living Proof Flex hairspray. You want to coat your brush with the spray. So spray it directly onto the bristles and then lift up your hair in layers, and we're going to start brushing out the hair from the bottom and work up. So this is where you're really dressing out the curls to now become that formed, glossy Hollywood wave. And you want to keep misting hairspray onto your brush as you go, because now kind of that hairspray has coated that hair. So just keep spraying as you're then working up the head, brushing out these curls. And with the Hollywood wave, kind of like the brushing is like one of the most hardest parts, because you just need to be patient with it and really know what you're doing with the brushing to really get that end result. So here on the top, I'm actually kind of taking my brush and going underneath first, just so the hair is just kind of not glued to my head and super flat. And then I'm going to go underneath here as well. So we've kind of mainly brushed this side out. And then as you can see, this side we're coming onto the face, but then it creates the perfect shape to then tuck behind the ear. Look at that. So you can see with the curls actually coming onto the face and then the tuck, you don't have any gap there. The hair falls really nicely onto here, whereas actually if you curled away from the face and tried to tuck, it actually doesn't look as good. Your hair looks fuller, just fuller and better curled onto the face if you are going to do a little tuck. And then I'm just going to take my hairspray and just mist the top, like mist down any little flyaways I've got on that side and just smooth them over with my hand, but you can see like I've brushed quite slowly and I just took my time with it. Just have a bit of patience with it, but literally look at the difference that it makes. You've got your beautiful Hollywood waves here and it's been transformed from these really curly ringlets. Now I'm going to do the exact same on this side. And I'm just taking my hairspray and I'm just going to spray any little flyaway areas. Just kind of use my fingers just to really form the waves where I want them. And then I've still got my tail comb. What I do love to do is just give this front bit just a little bit of teasing so it's got some volume in there. So I'll just push down 1, 2, 3 until the hair is literally sticking up. And I'll just take another section behind that and do the same. 1, 2, 3. One section behind that as well. 1, 2, 3. All that is sticking super upright. Give it some hairspray, flop it back over. I'm going to take my brush and just smooth it down, but without completely smoothing and brushing out teasing that I've just put in. And you can literally see, even with that amount of hairspray I've put in though, the hair does still move and it's still like flowy and flexible. It's not literally glued to my head at all. And I would recommend, because it still moves, what you do get with your Hollywood waves, say if you go out for the evening or out for the day, the hair will start kind of forming together and it will try and kind of curl back round and curl back together. So I'd always like take a brush or at least just a wide tooth comb with you, and you can just keep brushing throughout the day, and that's what's going to keep it in this really kind of full like formed wave. When you've got all the hairspray in that you need and you've kind of tamed any flyaway areas, then what I love to do is finish with a shine spray. So I think this is my favorite shine spray. It's the Color Wow Extra Mystical Shine Spray. It just makes the hair look super glossy and healthy and shiny. But what I will do, tip, instead of just going like all over, because then there's no dimension in the hair and it's not like natural light hitting the hair, what I love to do is like spray it on the crests of the waves where like the light would actually hit the hair. So just on that bottom there, that like crest of that wave, that crest of that wave. And you can also just like push the can into the hair as well, just to help smooth out any areas. And then same on this side. So I'm just going, when I say the crests of the waves, like these kind of round pieces where the light would naturally hit the hair. And there you go, these are your classic Hollywood waves. I think they are so perfect for like an evening out, anytime where you just want to feel special and kind of more done and more just kind of old school glamour really. Honestly, you can't go wrong with this look if you want to, yeah, make an impression, dress to impress with your hair basically. And I've literally just pushed and brushed all of my hair to the back there. It does look just stunning from the back, so you could just have it all down at the back and then just choose to have like some pieces at the front, or I even love it if you just have like the side that's tucked backwards and then you can choose to have like all of this hair just coming forwards, which I love. And then that's, yeah, that's super like red carpet glam. But yeah, those are my classic Hollywood waves. I really hope you guys have fun maybe having this video on at the same time as you're recreating it. Let me know what the results are like if you try this video out and you're kind of styling it along with the steps with me. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything new, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, because I bring you videos and hair tutorials like this every single week. And if you do subscribe, I'll be seeing you next week for another one of my videos. Bye guys.